Hey ladies and gentlemen, Steven here from Redolessence and welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate your time and your viewership. It means a lot. I hope you're having a wonderful day. And in today's episode, we're going to be taking a closer look at a brand new 2021 fragrance release. This one by the company Malul London, part of the Ktoret collection, is called 140 Blue. So make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin my fragrance review of 140 Blue by Malul London, part of the Ktoret collection, I do want to mention that if you are a fan of fragrance-related content, if you like fragrance reviews here on YouTube, but also top 10 videos, giveaways, unboxing, special guests, and more, please do consider supporting this channel by subscribing to it. It would mean so much to me. All you have to do is click on that red button in the corner, and of course, while you're at it, make sure to enable notifications by clicking on the bell icon too. So this is a brand that I discovered late last year. Malul London, in my opinion, puts out some incredible fragrances, everything from Citizen Jack to any number of fragrances that I've reviewed on my channel. I'm also going to leave a card up here to where you can check out a list that I've done for Malul London. And this is one that I discovered this year because it actually came out this year, 2021. And this one is called Blue. Now, when you think of blue, you think of oceanic, aquatic, you think of something that can be worn perhaps for a vacation or holiday, something that can be worn in a tropical climate, and this fragrance certainly does not disappoint. I also want to mention that if you are interested in making a purchase from Malul's website, which is going to be linked down below, you may utilize the discount code Steven or the code Redolessence. Again, all information is going to be in the description box below, and that will guarantee that you get the best price and the best discount possible on any product from their website. So this one is fresh. It's citrusy, it's definitely fruity in the opening, it's a little exotic leaning, and it's ideal and perfect in my opinion for vacations and holidays. I'm excited to talk to you about the smell. Let's start things off with the presentation. So I want to start things off by reading the note breakdown, which for my convenience is printed right on the back of the box here. So in the top we have apple, blood orange, plum, melon, and pomelo. So a very fruity, very citrusy introduction. In the heart, we have black pepper, neroli, lavender, and geranium, which kind of makes me feel like this is going to go in fougere territory. And then in the base, we have amber, cedar, musk, sandalwood, and patchouli. So let me smell this and let me tell you what I get from this fragrance. So it opens up very fruity, very fresh, very citrusy. You have nuances of the apple. I'm thinking about some of these other fruity ingredients that could potentially lean sweet, but I have to be honest with you, I don't really get any sweetness from this fragrance. A lot of times with amber-based fragrances, and there is an amber accord in here, it could lean a little bit sweet, but this one doesn't. And I suppose that's a good thing because when I'm thinking of a blue fragrance, or if I'm thinking of a vacation type fragrance, I typically don't want it to be too sweet. I want it to have an emphasis on the oceanic, the aquatic ingredients, the fresh and citrusy ingredients, and that's exactly what's happening in here. So I get the neroli, I get the pomelo, I get some of that bright citrus in the opening, but I also get like this fizzy quality from it that I would equate to the smell of fragrances like Millésime Imperial or perhaps Irolfa by Creed. It kind of has like this oceanic undercurrent, which I think makes it perfect for the hotter weather. Definitely the type of fragrance that I would enjoy wearing tremendously in the summer. And so once May hits, or perhaps even now, because I think this would make for a perfect office scent, if you're wearing it indoors in a climate-controlled environment, I think this would be perfect for that. So it has that really bright, zesty, and fulfilling introduction with the citrus. And then as you give it a chance to dry down, you have that heart of lavender and geranium. You have that agreste accord going on in the heart. And I don't get too much of the lavender. And I say that because I'm trying to connect it to some other lavender-based fragrances that I own. And I'm not making too strong of a connection. I don't doubt that it's in here. I'm pretty confident that the lavender is in here, but I just don't make too strong of a connection with other lavender-based fragrances that I have in my collection. And I get something fresh in the heart. Now, geranium has a bit of a minty smell. I'm not getting that necessarily, but I am certainly getting a lot of the citrus. And then in the base, I'm getting like an ambergris or an ambroxan vibe. Now, that is not listed in the note breakdown. It does say musk, so there are some fresh animalic tendencies, if you will. It is a synthetic musk, so it is a vegan product, if you will. But in terms of the sandalwood and the patchouli, there's something earthy, but it's not sweet and creamy. So I would say there's probably more of an emphasis on the patchouli than there is on the sandalwood. But overall, if I were to paint a holistic final picture for you, I would say this is a more citrus and ambroxan / ambergris leaning fragrance with a little bit of a different fruitiness in the opening, which I think is really, really cool. And I think if you're a fan of fragrances like Millésime Imperial or Erolfa by Creed, I think you're really going to enjoy this fragrance. Again, it doesn't smell identical to those two fragrances, and it's probably not even 80 or 90% similar. It's probably 50% similar, but I'm just using that as a frame of reference to help guide you along the way, just to pretty much let you know what sort of connections have been made in my olfactory mind. But awesome fragrance, one I'm certainly looking forward to wearing as the weather becomes a little bit nicer outside. It was in the 60s yesterday, so Fahrenheit that is. So I'm very excited for the weather to stay that way and for me to be able to enjoy this one outdoors for the summertime. Let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. So first up, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, despite the fact that I made a few comparisons, I certainly do find this one to be a unique fragrance. And I say that because while I was able to compare it just a little bit to like a Rolfa by Creed, kind of has that fresh oceanic vibe about it, there's a different fruitiness in the opening, which I'm really enjoying quite thoroughly with the apple, the neroli, the pomelo, the blood orange, and all of these other unique ingredients. And so overall smell is incredibly pleasant, high compliment factor, great office scent, perfect for vacations, makes you feel very refreshed and energized. And so a lot of props given to that. In terms of the longevity, I got about 7 hours on my skin, which, considering the type of olfactive direction that this goes in, is not uncanny or far-fetched. I think 7 hours is actually perfect for this one. The projection was great for the first 2 hours of application. It really radiated within an arm's length. People are able to smell you, especially if you do a few sprays on clothing like I do. You're certainly going to get noticed. In terms of the versatility, I think anybody can wear this one, men or women. This one is probably better suited for the hotter weather, but that's something that is sort of indicative of that type of genre. However, I can see somebody enjoying this one all year round as long as they're wearing it indoors in a climate-controlled environment. And I think that this one would cater to the taste of somebody who's a little bit younger as well as somebody who's a little bit older. So I find this to be a very versatile fragrance. And in terms of the presentation, I do like the color differentiation and the patterns on the box and the simplicity in the naming. So my final verdict on this fragrance is, if you are looking for an inexpensive fragrance that can be worn very confidently, very comfortably over the hotter months of the year, something that you can bring with you on vacation, and something that's going to set you apart because it doesn't, fall in the shadow of like a Dior Sauvage or a Bleu de Chanel or something like that. If you're looking for something that smells different, something to really capture people's attention, and if you're a fan of any of the notes that I listed before, odds are that you will enjoy this fragrance. And I would recommend getting a sample, but I'm going to leave all of the information down below to where you can check it out, as well as the discount code so that you can pick this one up for the best price possible. So thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. I really do appreciate you watching this video. I hope you took something of value from this review. If you did, please show your support by subscribing to this channel. All you have to do is click on that red button in the corner. It would mean so much to me. And of course, while you're at it, make sure to enable notifications by clicking on the bell. Thanks again for watching. Love you all, and we'll see you next time. Bye.